Jesus often spoke about the resurrection, and he often predicted his own death and resurrection, so much so that he started to offend a lot of the Jewish leaders of the Pharisees and the Sadducees. And when he would be talking about it, sometimes he would make a statement like he did in Mark 12, where he's talking about the resurrection there, but he makes these statements in there that sometimes stop me cold. And in this verse today, he says that he's speaking to them that you've made a serious error. And when Jesus says something like that, it ought to give you and I pause to go make sure that he never says that to us, that the King of Kings never says to you and I that we've made a serious error. And what their error was, what they didn't realize what they were saying. There's two different Jewish leaders at the time. There was the Pharisees who did believe in the resurrection, and they were the strict part of the law of Moses. And then there was the Sadducees who didn't believe that there was a resurrection. And so the Sadducees were trying to trap Jesus with a question about life after death, and if someone had been, a woman had been married to multiple brothers in a family and they all died, which one would she be married to? And he kind of sidesteps that question. He gives an answer, which is an important answer. He says that, you know, in heaven, after you die, after the resurrection, you're not going to be married and you're not going to be given in marriage in heaven. And that way we'll be like the angels. But to the heart of their question, he basically says, have you not read the law of Moses? Do you not understand what he said when he said God visited him in the burning bush? Because when Moses asked God in the burning bush at Mount Sinai, who are you? God answered him, I am the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. And Jesus says is at that moment, that God in that answer said, I am the God of the living, not the dead. And that's when he says to them, you have made a serious error. So the question is, do we read the Old Testament? Do we read the prophets? Do we read the Bible at all? Do we read his word? Number one. Number two, do we understand what it really says? And do we really put our faith in the resurrection and the hope of who the King of Kings really is? So I would just challenge you, get into the Bible, get into the word. It's a beautiful day in Georgia. I hope it's a beautiful day where you are. If it is, go outside, tell God what you're grateful for. Go for a walk with the King of Kings. Get into the Bible and get into prayer. I think that you'd be glad that you did. If you need help, reach out. If you need prayer, reach out. But have an amazingly blessed day today.